Shout out today. President Biden accidentally revealing a cheat sheet at a White House meeting yesterday, and it's easy to see the following. He held it up, the cameras caught it. It had instructions like, you and your, take a seat, with you and your in all caps repeatedly. It's happened before. Guy Benson, political editor, townhall.com, host of the Guy Benson Show on Fox News Radio, and Harold Ford Jr., co-host of The Five and former Tennessee congressman,
good to see you, brother,
whose alarm clock is working this morning. Welcome to the program, Harold.
Good to have you.
It's great to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Let me play a quick clip here and I'll let you guys go at it. Joe Cunningham is a Democrat in South Carolina, former congressman, I think one term around the Charleston area. He's running for governor, and he pretty much called out Joe Biden and his age on camera on CNN. Listen.
I think we need to have a new vision, new leadership, and this isn't about personal about Biden, but he'll be 82 at the time of the next election. If he served out a second term, he would be 86 years old. I'm not sure if any of us know of any 86-year-olds who should be running the entire country.
So he said the quiet part out loud.
He did, and a lot of people are starting to say the quiet part out loud. It's now the out loud part out loud, because so many people are talking about it, right? In all caps, certain words, they could have maybe added to the list, do not flash this card towards cameras, because now here we are talking about it. Look, I've emceed any number of events, and they'll give you a line-by-line, a TikTok with your cues and all of that. That's not necessarily unusual. Also, presidents are scheduled to within an inch of their life. They are going from one event to another, and they need helpful reminders. I'm not surprised that this type of thing happens. I think it's probably standard operating procedure to some extent. But this specifically feels a little
It's a little overstaffed.
It's a little much.
I think that in some ways it's overstaffing too, right? Well, maybe he needs it. I'm not. But when it says you enter the room and you say hello, that's like just kind of standard. But sometimes I think they handle them a little too close.
Yeah, I wish they would handle. First of all, thanks for having me on. I wish they'd handle some of the policy acuity. I think when we talk about mental and physical acuity, we wouldn't be talking as much about that if the policy was right on energy, if the policy was right on the border, if the policy was right on crime. I'm not bothered like guys. I mean, the specific things there. The president's on a schedule. Maybe it was a little much. I do agree with you, Dana. Probably some of the things you think he'd know just what to do. But as I look at the headlines this morning, I'm pleased that Granholm met with energy executives. I've written about it. I've talked about it. I think there needs to be a different approach, certainly given to our oil and energy companies. She said it was a constructive set of talks. I hope the president will weigh in. I was most alarmed this morning in a poll I saw at one of our rival networks saying that the approval rating of the Supreme Court of the United States has sunk to 25%. This institutional standing, or our big institutions and government's standing, it doesn't help when when these kinds of things are happening, but it certainly doesn't help when the country loses faith, I think, in the institution of the three, the legislative, executive, and the courts, where they've always had an elevated sense. So hopefully we're able to get at that in a way that...
Speaking of numbers, though, this is bad. You know how many pieces have been written in the past 2 weeks about telling Joe Biden that this is it. I mean, literally, they're publicly trying to convince him to concede that he won't run for a second term. And I think that's his call, right? Ultimately, he's got to decide. University of New Hampshire poll found only 9% of likely voters definitely want President Biden to run again. 20% say he should probably run. I think that was actually among Democrats, too, Guy.
This poll got a lot of attention, or a New Hampshire poll this week got a lot of attention because it was Trump and DeSantis in a Republican primary years down the line. That is so hypothetical and premature. This is not, though. This is right now. What people are seeing right now, a lot of Democrats and Americans broadly don't want this president to run again. And then the heir apparent, the vice president, in that same poll, is underwater by 41 points on favorability. So you look at the future for the Democratic Party right now, and I think there's some choppy seas ahead. So they might be trying to push one guy out, the guy who's currently in charge, but then who's next? And is that the path they want to go down? We'll see. It's
remarkable, Harold, that in a week or two, we have gone from Karine Jean-Pierre, the press secretary, saying Biden's absolutely running again. That's what he said, to now Democrats openly saying he shouldn't run again. He'll be too old to run again. And you have a little mini primary happening. You had Kamala Harris go to South Carolina. You had Pritzker go, I think, to New Hampshire, Iowa.
Yeah.
And Governor Newsom out in California does an interview with The Atlantic basically saying he's probably going to be in as well. How do you see
But
it?
there's nothing wrong with a little competition in parties. I mean,
Even at this point for President Biden, though?
look, the polling around Governor DeSantis and former President Trump, I think Governor DeSantis is beating the former president in some straw polls around the country. I think it's probably irritating the former president. And, you know, on the Democratic side, there's no doubt the policy has to get right. Again, I've said it and I'll say it again. If the policy were right, people wouldn't mind a little stumble up the stairs, a few stumble over words, and even a cheat sheet that looked as specific
So
as
you
that.
could talk about drilling for oil as opposed to building wind turbines off the coast of the Atlantic.
I probably would have prioritized my meetings a little differently. But
So you would
think
concede
about
that.
the bipartisan gun legislation that's likely to pass. There's some things that the president needs to get a little domino effect here going and push one or two over for the country's sake, not just for his party's sake, but for the country's sake. And if he's able to do that, we might be having a different conversation in 2 months, or we might not.
Well, I loved having you both here. And will you come back?
I have not met Guy in person. We were talking about it.
Come on.
We've been on television many, many times together, so it's great to meet you, brother.
Yeah, it's like we know each other, and now we really do.
Exactly.
It's just we love, that's what America's newsroom. We just bring people together. That's our mission. So next.
You all were hilarious the other night, by the way, at the Spotlight.
Oh, thank you.
Very much
Yeah,
so.
we work at it.
It was a good event.
Unintentionally hilarious.
Thank you, Harold.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.